Hello, tractor. Notice green zip tie, green zip tie. Easy peasy. Same thing for all of these. One of my better ideas. It's what, September 28th right now, so it's pretty late in the year. This stuff here, it's not real tall. It's only maybe halfway to my knee, maybe a little further. This stuff is not real interesting. Over in here is more what I'm after. This stuff right here is actually to my knee. So, and it's like only this front section, so I'm not gonna cut the whole field. I'm just gonna cut what I want. So probably maybe to that tree and all the way across. So like this big square here, it's gonna be probably more of a rectangle. Over in here it's pretty nice and tall. So yeah, it's gonna be tough drying it though, because the weather is only getting to like 65 at the most. We got some cloudy days, but right now is the best shot at it. I got like maybe like 5 days without rain, 5 or 6, but I don't know, some of those are gonna be cloudy, but it's now or never really. It's not gonna get any better, and if you wait too long, you could kill the alfalfa off by not letting it build up what it needs before winter and pulling it down to the roots. So going for it. Let me find some alfalfa and I'll show you what they do. So here is a stem of alfalfa. That's pretty short. Let me find a longer one. It's hard to come by right now. So right here is a stem of alfalfa that I just pulled out of this windrow. And what that crimper does is it breaks the cell wall of the plant, so it crimps it essentially. So if you follow the length of this plant, suddenly right there it's crimped, and like I said, that breaks the cell wall, and the plant will actually it'll dry quicker. It kind of allows it to breathe and evaporate to the air, kind of respirate, I guess. So yeah, that's what that does. So those crimpers are working pretty good. That's what you want to look for. And the cut's pretty nice. I find with a disc vine that the shorter the grass is, the dirtier the cut it leaves, because it kind of blows it down. But it's actually cutting pretty nice. This is the light spot here, but pretty happy with it. So let's keep on going. Well, I got everything cut last night that I wanted. I only cut the heavier stuff. Some of it was so light it wasn't worth messing with. So there's some decent hay here. Question is am I gonna get it dry? So I'm out here to Ted this morning. I'm pretty happy with what I got. You know, that's not bad. That's a 4th cutting, so really anything's better than nothing. As long as I can get it dry, like I said, it's a very heavy dew in the mornings now. So let's get it tedded out. One thing I really like about tedding early in the morning is, okay, so I'll show you. So like you grab some of this grass here, you notice how it's just soaked? Well, kind of the idea behind the tedding is, for one, it does this. It shakes off a whole bunch of that water. Maybe not all of it, but it shakes off a good part of it. So now it'll actually start drying sooner in the day. So I got more of a jump start. So I like that about it. You know, and another thing is like later when it starts to dry down more, but it's not quite ready yet, alfalfa leaves can become really brittle, and if you shake them or move them, the leaves fall off. But in the morning, they're kind of hydrated to some extent, and they won't do that. They actually are very flexible again, and they'll stay on the stem with a little moisture. So tedding earlier in the morning doesn't hurt it. So, you know, some advantages there. Also, I work full-time, so I got to ted the morning before work. I can't wait around all day, so really it works out for me. That's that. This thing has gotten to be so darn hard. I'm really brief. There it goes. Yeah, you see I did. Ooh, something's not right with this thing. And if you want to crank anything up, it takes all of the force I have. So I'm gonna figure out how to take that apart and see if I can just grease it. Never taken one apart before, so let's figure that out. Yeah, I usually don't put anything away until it's all ready to go again. Otherwise you put things away and forget about it, and then when you need it, it's broken and you can't use it right when you need it. You might just hammer these out then. Maybe not. I don't know what else there could be. It is going though. You know, something I just noticed. If you look right here, this little dimple, that's what's supposed to ride in the groove. And then if you look, the groove's over here. And that is wearing on here. So let's see if we can fix that. It's in the groove. Oh, look at it now. Well, isn't that interesting? There's like nothing on them. It's all dried up. So I think if the groove was lined up, all you really had to do was maybe just start to knock it a little bit out of the tube, and it should have just came right out. So line the groove up right there. Now the hard part's getting it out of that hole in the back. Holy smokes, that's nice. I probably should have done that when I first got the thing, because it's always been that difficult. It's like nothing now. Much more gooder. Getting ready to tet again today. It is the following day. It is now Saturday. And you know what? I had a pretty good drying day yesterday, surprisingly. Today's not bad either. It's fairly sunny. Let's see what we got for wilt here. So it's later in the day. Most of the dew's off already, but it's got a little bit of a wilt to it. It didn't dry a whole lot, but it's pretty cold right now. Well, it's Monday, it's the end of the day. I didn't do anything with the hay at all for Sunday. I just left it lay. So far I've tetted it twice and let it lay, and kind of, if you listen to it, I can always kind of tell when hay's getting real close by that sound. When you walk on it and it's got like a crispy sound to it, it's right in the ballpark. If I had it raked up right now, I could almost bale it. It's some beautiful stuff. See how nice and green that is? That's gonna make some nice hay. There's not gonna be a lot of it because it's very light. It's fourth cutting, that's to be expected. But it is absolutely beautiful stuff. So I'll show you. A little hard to do one-handed. But if you actually grab this with two hands and twist it, and it breaks, you're pretty much ready. And I also like to just scrape the wax with my thumb, and if it is really waxy, it's not really ready, but if it's dry, it'll kind of flake off and your finger doesn't really dig into it. So that's pretty darn ready. I do think if I had it raked up, I could bale it, but tomorrow's a new day. The weather's supposed to be nice, so let's hope for that. Looks like the neighbor's chickens are out right now. Not like my roosters. Way back when I lived with my parents, we had chickens, and I had a rooster. We called him Magruder, and he was the meanest rooster. I'd let him out when I'd get home from school, and my sister was in a different grade and she rode a different bus. So I would let the chickens out when I got home, and then later my sister would get home, and that rooster knew the sound of that school bus. And my sister would intentionally go through the woods to avoid this rooster, but he knew she was there. So he would go into the woods and chase her up to the house. I might have done that on purpose. Okay, maybe it was a little mean. Well, good morning, guys. It is Tuesday morning, and I am getting stuff ready to start doing hay. So I know a lot of videos just start out right in the field. I'm gonna tell you right now, there is a lot more than just going into the field. There is a whole procedure to getting started in the morning. You gotta get all of your equipment ready to go for the day. I kind of greased everything last night when I had a little bit of time, but you still have to get everything hooked up that you're gonna use and get everything staged, and you gotta figure out where you're gonna be moving things throughout the day so you don't block something in that you need, and there's a lot to it. So I'll give you a little taste of what's going on. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get the grapple hooked up onto here for my loader. I've already put on, you guys haven't really seen it yet, but the new hitch back here for moving my gooseneck around. You'll see that in action. That's nice. I kind of got away a little bit from the remote truck setup. Not that I didn't like it, but this works a little bit better right now for me. I just can't load the trailer as heavy as I was before. See, if I was doing more distance running and I was loading the truck, I would definitely be using that still. But being that I'm just across the road right now, I'm just gonna use that. I just load a little lighter. It's a few more trips, but it works out the same. So let's get that done. Hello, tractor. sometimes I hate unhooking this thing because these get so hard to put together sometimes. It's so close though, it should just go. There it goes. Sometimes you gotta crack these lines down here just to bleed off the extra pressure so you can get them hooked up. I don't know, it's almost like they need some sort of a little bleeder screw you can just loosen. It's not all the time, but it's sometimes. I kind of store it in the middle of its stroke sometimes, and that helps. But if it wants to be difficult, it's just gonna be difficult. Okay, now that I'm done tedding with this tractor, I can put the tedder away and then hook it to the baler. I like to have everything hooked up before I'm even ready to go. That way I don't have to rush, I don't have to worry about it. You know, this is one thing that I think should just be standard on all tractors. I put this on, it's a battery kill. So essentially, when you're done for the day, you just turn it off and it disconnects the battery from the whole tractor. I'm telling you what, on old tractors, and especially the new ones, there are an awful lot of them burning down, and they just, something just shorts out in the middle of the night or while you're out in the field. Something just shorts out in the middle of the night and they just burn up. I've heard of things where like people have left them in gear and the things have just started on their own in the middle of the night and they've just taken off. And the new ones, I hear a lot of things with like the DEF and even just some wiring shorting out on them. And I don't know if it's before the fuse or something, so it's not tripping them, but they just burn up. So I'm kind of making a habit of going through all my equipment and just putting kill switches on them. That way I don't have to even worry about it. It's not even a thought, because man, would it ever suck to lose your whole barn full of all your tools and burn up all the equipment you've spent so much time getting ready and finding. So it's not an easy thing to do. So kind of peace of mind. Hello, tractor. Almost. Perfect. Okay. PTO up. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the shield chain on here. And a lot of you probably know what this does, but in case you don't, what it does, at least my fingers will work out what it does. So the PTO shaft in here spins. So the PTO shaft in here spins, and this is a guard. And this chain kind of keeps it, there's one over here too, keeps the two halves from spinning. This way, this doesn't spin, but the shaft inside does. And if you for some reason get stupid and get next to it, it doesn't catch you. Because this would make a mess out of you if you got caught in it while it was running. You don't want to do it. So I guess the best thing to tell you is just don't get anywhere near it when it's spinning. That's good. Now we gotta hook up the accumulator in the back. Done deal. Now these two are hooked together. And then let's just fill up the binder twine for the day. Yeah, I'm not gonna put any more twine in here. Just because mice like to get up here in the winter time sometimes, and they'll make a nest in here inside these little balls. And if they just chew random strings, you'll be going along and all of a sudden there'll be nothing this is attached to and you'll just run out of twine. So the less I keep in here, the better. I won't go through this much today at all. There's not that much out there. So it'd be great if there was, but there's just not. Okay, baler's ready to go. It's already greased. Just got to get rakes hooked up, and I guess I can go to raking. Remember when I said you try not to block yourself in? Well, there's my rakes, and there's the drill. So I guess I just got to move that so I can get onto my rakes. So that's my new drill. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, it's my new drill. I just picked it up. I'm going to be putting in some row crops this year. Or I guess I should say next year. Probably going to do beans. So it's my first ever row crop. It's my first ever drill. I don't know where all this hair comes from. It ain't from me. So yeah, I'll go through that drill and just see what I can do, because it needs a little bit of work. So definitely going to be a learning curve on that one. All right, let's get the rigs hooked up. Really nothing to that, just they're already chained together. I did fix some of the pivots on this year so I can swing it out just a little bit further, because I'm going to be doubling up some windrows. Like I said, it's such a light cutting, I got to do that. So you know, believe it or not, this tractor doesn't use much of anything for gas raking hay. Like, I'd probably rake 10 acres on probably 4 gallons, maybe not even that, gallon wise. This thing's really good for raking hay. It rakes cheap. Gearing wise though, it's awful. It's just, the field speeds are slow and the road speed is like lightning. So there's no happy medium there. So that's why I got the 2 rakes. At least if I'm doing 2 passes at once, I don't feel so bad about it. You just gotta put on your headset, listen to some tunes,
enjoy the ride, I guess. Ready to rock and roll.